so long is like alchemy.
Both teams healthy. Both teams looking to make a statement and capture first place in the Western Conference. Jokic, DeMarcus Cousins, the marquee matchup in what really could be kind of the regular season finale, right? This is maybe the last meaningful game of the regular season with 5 games to go. Early on, it's Steph, KD, pick your poison. Look at Steph set the feet. The jumper's smooth. He's peaking at the right time. Peaking, though? Peaking? Here we go. Jokic, Boogie, two of the more physical, below-the-rim bigs in the game that we have today. And Boogie set out to make a statement, and that's what he did. But you can tell when you want to gauge this Warriors team, we've said it so many times, right? What kind of defensive intensity do they open up the game with? That's kind of a good barometer to know, like, are they engaged tonight? And you can see the defensive activity. Boogie, the early block, helping on the floater, then KD with the block from behind. And it was like, okay, as expected, as they should, come out hungry. I let this sequence play through to just give you an idea of the intensity and the pace to start this game. And this is what did concern me. I like DeMarcus and Jokic matchup, but I thought that if he wasn't getting the benefit of the whistle, which he rarely does, he could get in early foul trouble. You see Millsap off the help, knocking down the corner 3. They went to Millsap early and often. I also think Golden State went to Durant to kind of get him maybe more aggressive shooting the ball early on. You see Millsap now with Clay on him on the switch. And I like that strategy from Malone, kind of settle the young team down. He is the vet of the team. And frankly, he's been underutilized offensively all year long. Look at that bounce pass into the post. Duke, take note. Where was that pass with Zion Williamson in the tournament? Those post-feed passes to Zion from Duke, were just disgusting. Watch more Boogie on the glass. His body, his big body in the paint paid dividends all night. But maybe it speaks more to there's such little post play in basketball that kids don't know how to make entry passes to the post. You see Steph draw the foul on Murray fighting over the screen. I thought Steph did a great job containing Murray and helping DeMarcus by getting over the screens early on. The little pump fake. Jokic ends up showing his good hands. Denver very competitive and spry early on, and then KD slaps the taste out of the ball before it gets to the glass. 2 early blocks for him just shows his engagement early on defensively. But look at this. DeMarcus shows on Murray. Draymond pokes free. Now the switch again. They were just on a string defensively, all connected and helping. And then the only foot race he could probably win in the league, he wins it coast to coast, DeMarcus Cousins. Now, those of you that watched it with me live, if you go back to the beginning of the game, when I was looking at the starting lineups, I was like, I don't know about Barton on KD. I don't think that that's a great idea. And I mentioned maybe putting Millsap on Durant, and they let Barton try to guard Durant. And yeah, not so much. Here's Murray, who at times flashes the ability to be a good defender. He's just not consistent with it. He forces the turnover, the lob to Plumlee, their first man off the bench. And you see Denver has the lead early on, and this is just simple basketball. And the presence of Cousins really had Denver out of pocket because they usually don't have to send help or a double to Jokic on the post. Right now, Draymond here, the bounce passes to DeMarcus. That's an easy play. But Steph only had 2 shot attempts this far in the game, so he kicks it to Steph. Murray, good close out, and he double clutches it. But it's just Draymond's IQ, I think, of understanding who hasn't had shots yet. It didn't matter because Boogie's hustle gets him the basket anyway. Now, as soon as Jokic got a switch and it was KD, he went right to work and got a basket. It almost felt like he didn't score on DeMarcus all night long. The same thing we saw with Towns a few nights ago in Minnesota. Here's the trap. Oh, he's 7 foot. He can easily pass out of the trap, and this man rumbles to the rim. Let's take a look at how polished Head Knock has gotten. Watch the timing of McKinney's cut. He's running pretty much a rub screen, and then Looney's popping right after that. That's just indefensible for young Beasley to try to fight over those 2 actions. Steph, easy 3 splits. Now he's playing with him. Kicks it to the corner. Alfonzo McKinney had himself a good night. Hits the corner 3 ball. If I were working with Quinn, I would get him to power slide, meaning I would have him slide. When he slides defensively like that, he's got to slide his feet further because when he turns his hips and tries to run with the guy, he just doesn't have the stride, and he's going to get dusted every time. You see here in the beginning of the second quarter, they went right to work on him and attacked him for a few easy baskets. Someone asked me during the live stream, what do I think about the perimeter defense? You see Livingston come over and block that shot. He came off of Torrey Craig, the non-shooter, and then perfectly ran break, right? I think our help defense has been smarter. We've been helping off the right guys because ultimately the perimeter defense is about rotations, right? Rotations and helping the help. There's a turnover. Boogie hustles back. And just look at the pace of this game. Clay wants to reward the big man for running, but Denver hustles back into play. And now Clay's like, my bad, that's a silly turnover. Let me break up this lob pass. So it was an up and down, fast-paced game, and DeMarcus is going to end up getting rewarded for running the floor anyway. It was funny, trying to talk during the live, I couldn't pay attention to the game nearly as much as I would have liked to, but I felt like Klay had a great game, and then people were quick to point out, no, he wasn't shooting well. I looked at the box score, he didn't, but look at the defense. I just felt like every time I looked up, he was involved in making an effort play or being at the right spot, you know what I mean? So despite him not shooting the ball very well, you're going to see him get the corner three from the slim assist. I just thought his effort level and presence throughout the game was felt. Watch Boogie just put a big body on Plumlee, flop and draw the foul. And Plumlee has really given us trouble in the past just because of his size, and DeMarcus's presence was just on full display. Mike Malone, watch, he keeps making adjustments. He wants to pick up full court pressure to not allow us to get into our set on time, right? Boogie kind of holds the ball. We're at 15. The full court press, it's, make no mistake about it, it's not to turn the ball over. It's so we don't get into our action in time, right? Now they're over pressing the passing lanes, and all of a sudden the shot clock's down to 5 and Durant has to jack up a shot. So if you're Denver, the demoralizing thing about how this game proceeded to play out really was the fact that they were playing hard. You see the outlet and the finish from Murray, right? Their effort, they looked hungry to win this game. They were just being out-executed and out-talented. Klay with the rare wedgie. I feel like Klay still wears tighty whities. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, right? But he was 6 of 15. I think he was only like 1 of 7 from behind the arc. You see Draymond gets the switch and Jokic goes to work. The second All-Star we've seen DeMarcus neutralize and kind of get in their head. You want to see the most out-of-rhythm shot ever? Here it is. Right? Like that had no chance. Stiff-legged, no rhythm, flat-footed. It's all right, Dre. Keep shooting. Keep shooting. Bogut comes into the game and what do you know? Even, you know, Jokic is so strong, he even kind of bulldozed Bogut on a few possessions. Another thing I noticed, KD and Bogut are starting to build a rapport for each other. KD's starting to understand how Bogut likes to play, where he likes to set his screens. He doesn't necessarily look to roll, right? And that was very efficient motion offense right there. And there's Jokic again passing out. They needed him. It was like, all right, you're down 10 on the road, this big game. Where are you at, dude? And he just kind of was too passive. Now the little slip and the left-handed floaty from the bogey. And if you were with the live, you can go back and watch it. I kind of dug into Jokic and how he's a tier below what a lot of people have him. He's an all-star. He's just not an elite all-star, right? Jamal Murray hits the 3. And at this point, that you kind of got the sense like Murray was going to have to take over or have one of those big offensive barrages. But look at Bogut play it perfectly and challenge the shot, making it, you know, not a high percentage shot. And then Durant semi-break decides to right-hand spike all over Will Barton. I told you shouldn't have had that matchup. Barton, not a defender. KD snarling. Look at him cock back with the right hand to get the and one. Talking about different personalities. Obviously, the big 3 were fine from the Minnesota saga, right? But angry Durant is a good Durant on the basketball court, at least, right? Draymond, that's the second time he's blocked a 3 in this game. The switch had been flipped defensively on the young Nuggets, and then push crossover lane opens up. Look out, that's number 2. As Oracle, I got to give Oracle credit because they got loud. Everybody enjoying themselves, including Antonio Brown in his Fashion Nova. So here we go, winding down the half, really trying to kind of crush their spirit headed to the second half. Steph 3-ball. Draymond on the offensive glass. We out-rebounded him 55-40, and then Durant. Oh, and I thought we were going to get another tomahawk, but he softly flushes that one for his 3rd dunk in a matter of minutes. As Oracle's on their feet and Denver gets blitzed to end the half on the road. As the Warriors, like I said, man, they look like they flipped the defensive switch and everything's starting to click. So here we go, second half. They got to go to Jokic, right? He's an elite big. He's one of the greatest bigs of all time. Look at DeMarcus say, no, sir. And then he kind of low-key taunts him with the that's too easy body language after. You can't let him get to his spots. You see Jokic barely get out at that. I talked about this in the live. They're going to have some real defensive issues playing Jokic heavy minutes in the playoffs. Klay patiently puts it through, and just like that, it's a 20-point lead. Malone's got to stop things. Will Barton. Maybe they're not trying to show their hand, right? If come playoff time, they're going to put somebody else on Durant, but Barton ain't it. Look, Denver will say all the right things to the media and try to remain confident, but at this point, it's a facade. I think that they really needed to win one of these last 2 games against us to kind of build this young team's confidence. Now I think in their core, I don't think they believe they can make it out of the West. Boogie just destroying them in the paint. And what makes him so special is you never get a guy this big, this physical, who is like a genuine natural bully. Look at him bullying Steph. Obviously, it's all love between those two, but he's a natural bully. Durant trying to draw the foul. And there was contact for sure, but I guess KD's had enough, man. The fine didn't hurt his pockets too much because he blows the gasket. And then look at him, man. The body language was a bit much from Slim. I get it. I think that this is an accumulation, obviously, from who knows how long. But his body language suggested, like, let's fight. Like, let's fight. Look at the thotty in the background, though. Isn't that Steph's infamous thought that's always, like, rolling her tongue out at him and shit anyway? So Durant leaves after a monstrous 3 quarters, 21 points, dunking on everybody's head, blocking shots. And at this point, it didn't really matter. And what it really did was fire up Oracle. Steph, a steal out in transition. Hey, it ain't pretty, but it gets the job done. I thought McKinney had himself a nice game, 17 minutes. And this is where the stats will lie, because if you look at the box score, he's a -9, but that's because he played all of garbage time. Look at jump the passing lanes and then the little turnaround handoff to Steph for the 3-ball. I think he is showing growth as far as his IQ, where to be, and the effort has always been there. So no complaints from Zoe on this night. We got a little sloppy with the ball. Up 20, we got a little sloppy with the ball. Look at Boogie hit the floor, though. But the difference was, yes, we got sloppy and we had some lackadaisical turnovers. The difference was our transition defense and our effort didn't really wane on that end, and so they weren't really able to capitalize on the turnover. Now, after I say that, I'm going to show a turnover where they just let Will Barton coast down the lane for an easy layup and Kerr hits the timeout. But I just thought overall, I thought that they sustained their defensive effort through the 30 or so minutes they needed to close out this game. And then Steph started pulling the trigger as Plumlee tried to show. There's another one. Did he want to go behind the back on that one? I'm not sure, but watch him get back and try to take the charge. I think he slipped his hip a little to the left at the last second, so it's a fair call. But, they don't like any calls right now. That's the real thing I think that we need to address the final 4 or 5 games is just try to back off the refs. McKinney, coast to coast, and one as the ball movement continued. And then how about Clay with the post clamps? Look, they get the switch they want, and Jokic thinks he's just going to bulldoze Clay to the paint. No, sir. Clay with the post clamps on Jokic, who is just too easily discouraged offensively. I think he can learn, he's still young. And then how about Looney, 10 and 5 in 12 minutes, most of them coming in dumpster time as he just kind of benefited from backdoor cuts as the game got sloppy. Look at Quinn finding him on the baseline again, rocking them new Dame 5s. And then Boogie, why not? It's all coming together, man. If he starts to hit threes, like, can you imagine? And then Repko gets in the game. Watch him catch this out of pocket and just shoot it from his eyes. I don't want to jinx anything or hit anybody with the reverse alchemy jinx, but for all the criticism I've had and we've had of the Warriors pacing themselves and the disappointing losses at Oracle, particularly this year, we have to acknowledge right now they seem to be peaking at just the right time. And it's not just 1 or 2 guys. It seems like the whole damn team, as DeMarcus finishing out this thing in the 4th, just dominating. IT too small. Who has better touch than DeMarcus? Let me ask you that. Right now, what big man has better touch than him? I mean, you could throw Embiid's name out there. You could throw Jokic. But how about 28, 13, 5, 2, and 2 on the stat line? And then he takes his time to let Jokic know, where you at? Where was you at, dog? I came to see you tonight. I can't see you. As the Warriors take care of business and smack the Nuggets back down into reality and stake claim to the top of the Western Conference. Now, we've got 2 doubleheaders, really some shitty games. The Clipper game might be fun, but I think it's going to be the Pelicans game on Tuesday. I may do a different game for y'all. I may have a different breakdown because I have a feeling these last 4 or 5 games, there's not going to be a lot to talk to. So I won't short you out on videos, but I can't guarantee that they're going to be all Warrior breakdowns these final few games because I just, let's talk playoffs. That's what we need to gear towards, so maybe some potential playoff opponents. I'm out, y'all.
We're chasing that #1 seed, and I guess we control our own destiny now in the last part of the season, but playoffs, different animal. We know what we're about, and we'll be ready for it.
Another career milestone for you. Today you passed Chris Mullins as one of the all-time leading scorers in this franchise history. Just reflect on that, and what does that mean to you?
It's amazing, man. I've been here 10 years, and had a lot of great moments. I see him in the rafters up there, so, you know, just knowing what he was able to do in his career in the Bay Area, representing the Warriors, I'm happy to carry the torch and keep pushing. So, pretty special night.
Keep it going, brother.
Thank you.
Boogie! What's going on, young fella? Hey, man, what was this all about? Looking down at the other bench, it seemed like you had a different type of urgency. What was that?
Just looking for something, that's all.
What is important for you guys coming down this stretch? What's important for you personally, and what do you need to do, and what do you want to see for the whole team collectively?
Well, with us, it's just about coming out playing the right way every night, no matter the opponent. Coming out with a good energy, coming out ready to play. And I think we've done a better job of that as of lately. So just staying consistent with that. Coming out playing team basketball, defense on the string, and moving the ball, playing Warrior basketball. So we come out and do that, we usually got a great chance of winning the game.
From a mindset standpoint, 10 years in the association, this will be your first time going to the football. Hey, listen, look. Going to the NBA playoffs, how does it feel, bro?
Feels amazing, man. You know, I've worked my ass off to get to this point. So, you know, I plan on leaving it all on the floor, taking full advantage of it. And, you know, hopefully y'all can appreciate what y'all see.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Guys.
I've been winning so long, it's like alchemy.